Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at noon.
And right now at noon, CBS News reporting the son of Hollywood director Rob Reiner is now in custody. This is after Reiner and his wife were found dead in their home Sunday night. But first,
if you prey on children, you will be found and you will be held fully accountable.
Developing now, we are learning 3 arrests were made by FDLE after thousands of files of child sexual abuse were uncovered. Special agent in charge Felipe Williams says they looked up, downloaded, and shared this material. One of them, according to Williams, even had a child sex doll. News 6's Mark Lehman was at today's press conference and lets us know more about exactly what happened.
The state announcing the child predator arrest here at the Hyatt Regency Orlando, which is holding an Internet Crimes Against Children convention. Authorities saying this is all part of statewide efforts to find criminals targeting children. On Monday, Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins was joined by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to announce the arrest of 3 men. Each have been charged with 40 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material. Both 39-year-old Jorge Nieto and 60-year-old Martin Cassidy were booked into the Orange County Jail. 25-year-old Joel Oriana was taken into custody in Kissimmee. FDLE says Oriana is from El Salvador and was in the country illegally. The investigations into each of the men date back several months. In all of the cases, agents received cyber tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. FDLE worked with local agencies to make the arrest and said it's committed to tracking down anyone who does something similar.
When you're dealing with these sickos, they share their collections. That's what they call them, collections. So they share it amongst themselves. There's digital footprints going everywhere. So that's the reason why I'm saying they're sick. They're sickos. They're evil. And we're going to run every lead down that we can possibly do there.
According to investigators, one of the suspects was in possession of a childlike sex doll that was purchased online. Now, each of these investigations are active and additional charges could be filed. And FDLE says this should also serve as a reminder for parents to monitor their child's online activity and be aware of sexual predators in the community. We're posting further details about that under this story on clickorlando.com. In Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Mark, thank you. What a story. Now to our other developing story. CBS News reports the son of Hollywood director Rob Reiner, he is now in custody and being held on a $4 million bond. Rob and Michelle Reiner, they were found dead in their L.A. home. This was on Sunday. CBS's Gwen Baumgartner has the latest.
A crime scene cleanup truck arrived early this morning at the Los Angeles home of legendary filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. According to online records from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, the couple's 32-year-old son Nick has been booked in connection with what the police are calling an apparent homicide.
The current death investigation that is being conducted by the Los Angeles Police Department is going to be handled by the Homicide Special Section of Robbery Homicide Division of the Los Angeles Police Department.
Police say first responders found the bodies last night. Rob Reiner, son of late comedic great Carl Reiner, initially gained fame playing Archie Bunker's son-in-law, Meathead, on CBS's All in the Family. He went on to direct dozens of iconic films, including This Is Spinal Tap, The Princess Bride, and When Harry Met Sally.
Just really surreal and still in shock, to be honest. It's just still in shock.
Jerry O'Connell was one of the child co-stars of Reiner's classic film Stand By Me.
Rob was like a father to me. He was like a father to me.
The couple's son Nick has been booked on $4 million bail. In a statement about the Reiner's death, the family says it's heartbroken by the sudden loss and asks for privacy. Hollywood is mourning the tragic loss. Flowers mark Reiner's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And the Princess Bride star, Carrie Elways, posted on Instagram a photo from the movie set captioning it, "No words." Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
I want to bring your focus closer to home here. One person is dead, another seriously hurt. This was after a crash, backed up traffic on 429 all morning. We brought this to you for hours, showing you the scene directly after the wreck. You can see traffic backed up. A flatbed truck looks like it lost its load. We saw backups for hours all the way back to the turnpike. Investigators say the truck rolled multiple times after losing control. FHP says the driver was ejected. He died. We know now as well he was not wearing a seatbelt. Also, the passenger is in the hospital with serious injuries. This crash is under investigation. Of course, we'll keep you updated as we get new info. All right, I want to turn now to our forecast. A cold start to the morning. It is warming up, so that is good news. If you wanted to take that lunch outdoors, Candace, maybe you can do that.
Maybe. I mean, it's just going to be a little bit on the windier side, so make sure you put things to hold on to your napkins before they fly away. But Daytona Beach Skycam, look how rough it is, and it's that same breeze that is really going to continue to really rough up our surf quite a bit. You can see the pier there. The camera's shaking. It's kind of cloudy out there. It's not an ideal beach or boating day today. It will improve, though, and it get a little warmer, a little calmer by the middle and end of the week. 62 degrees right now, but notice the breeze out of the northeast at 21, gusting at 25 miles per hour. But the rest of Central Florida, we're still holding on to those 50s in areas in and around Marion County. Mid 60s pretty much from coast to coast at this point in time. It's just going to be another cool afternoon, certainly sweater weather appropriate throughout most of the afternoon. But again, the winds are also going to be roughing up the surf quite a bit. We do have a high surf advisory as well as a small craft advisory throughout the rest of today. We'll have more details on what the rest of the work week looks like, including a Christmas preview coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Candace, thank you. 12:06 here. I want you to look over my shoulder. This scene tells the story of a very emotional weekend. This was outside of Berry Park in Leesburg over the weekend. A gunman is on the loose today after a shooting left an 18-year-old dead, and the community, of course, wondering what happened. News 6's Angie Casada has been following this story for us all morning long as investigators try and piece together exactly how this unfolded.
Yeah, they're hoping anyone will come forward with any information as they work to piece together what led to this deadly shooting at Berry Park in the middle of the afternoon. This is a park that usually has several families in the area. A quiet Sunday afternoon at Berry Park turned into a crime scene.
Unfortunately, we heard a pop and somebody got killed, and it's sad.
Police say just before 1 in the afternoon, officers responded to reports of a possible shooting victim inside a vehicle. They found 18-year-old Juan Gomez Jr. of Grand Island with at least one gunshot wound. Fire rescue and EMS rushed in, but Gomez was pronounced dead at the scene.
Just trying to get up out of there at that moment. Was looking around to make sure everybody was all right at that point, and it was just crazy.
Detectives and crime scene investigators spent hours collecting evidence as family and friends stood by.
I feel as if we just need to do better, honestly.
Now, Leesburg police say this is still an active investigation. They haven't released any information on any possible suspects, but again are urging the public to come forward with any information. Reporting in Leesburg, Angie Casada, News 6.
Angie, thank you. We're going to stay in Leesburg for a second. Investigators say this is video showing Alex Lopez. This is the man they say shot and killed 51-year-old Ray Shahada. This was at a gas station in Leesburg back in May 2024, according to police. Today, Lopez begins his trial for Shahada's murder. All of this happened at the Fast Shop Superette. This was right off North Boulevard. Investigators say they were called to the store for a robbery and a shooting. They found Shahada unconscious on the floor. He died at the hospital. Lopez was arrested June 26th of last year for his murder. A judge and jury will now decide if Lopez is guilty of multiple charges. These include murder and armed robbery. Of course, we will be keeping you updated. Meantime, investigators in Rhode Island are still looking for the person they say killed 2 people and hurt 9 others. This unfolding at Brown University over the weekend. Investigators originally said they had a person of interest, but then overnight, a huge shock. The Rhode Island Attorney General said that person was released.
Certainly there was some degree of evidence that pointed to this individual, but that evidence needed to be corroborated and confirmed. That evidence now points in a different direction.
Well, police are still searching for whomever is in this video. Of course, we will let you know more as the story develops. Meantime, a critical shortage of nurses is hurting healthcare across the state, but there may be a fix, some good news potentially. Coming up, the governor's plan to try and help bring nurses back to the workforce and why it is not yet guaranteed.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
We're back now, 12:12 on your Monday. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is hoping to inject millions of dollars into the state's workforce, and that includes a profession that is facing a critical shortage. We're talking about nursing. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is in Kissimmee now with how much the governor is setting aside for these programs.
Governor Ron DeSantis has set aside $130 million for nursing programs in his most recently proposed budget. While it's not a guarantee yet, nursing schools here in the area are excited at the possibility. At Nuke University, non-traditional students can flourish. And one of their most popular curriculums is nursing.
They get hands-on training both here and also in the clinical environment out with our partners in the community.
Students here can become LPNs, RNs, and BSNs. Nuke University's president tells me they opened its Kissimmee campus to fill a critical gap.
There is a critical nursing shortage. Not only a critical nursing shortage, but a critical nursing shortage of people who are bilingual and able to communicate with the residents of this area.
A 2021 report from the Florida Hospital Association found that Florida would face a shortage of nearly 60,000 nurses by 2035 due to its aging and growing population. In his 2026-2027 proposed budget, Governor Ron DeSantis announced $130 million for nursing education programs to help address nursing vacancies, an investment educators believe would encourage more people to enter the field.
A lot of the students that we get, they are already working or they have school-age children, so they have a lot of commitments. So the availability of funding from them, from the governor, I think is really going to help and be able to infuse some great talent into those professions.
Nuke University is also doing its part to get more people into the workforce. Starting in January, students here will see lower tuition rates, anywhere between 5% and 36% lower, depending on the program. I'm your Osceola County community correspondent, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Stephanie, thank you so much. If you are wondering, who is this lady on your TV? My name is Lauren Melendez. I'm the new morning anchor, and I fear Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos that I may have brought the cold weather with me from the Northeast.
You know what? Listen, at the end of the day, you got here a couple weeks ago, so.
All right, you'll cut me some slack?
I'm going to cut you some slack,
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, and I know that you are a warm weather lover, too.
I
so
am.
You're going to like the next couple of days, Lauren. Welcome. We're so happy to have you. And such a bright, shining star in the morning. So it's just been awesome to work with you so far. All right, let's talk weather headlines. Cold, cloudy for your Monday. Rough beach conditions, beach and boating conditions. We talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the show here. Now, conditions will improve. So if you have family and friends visiting for the holidays, maybe the beach is going to be a pretty good idea as we're going to continue to stay warm throughout the rest of the work week, even flirting with the 80s at some point this week. And really, that's how we're going to stay, at least until about Christmas. Now, we might have a weak front here or there come through, might bring temperatures down a few degrees, but for the most part, there's no real significant drop in temperatures. So if you have any decent Christmas sweaters that you want to wear, today is probably your best day to do it, maybe tomorrow, and then your days are a little limited. Looking here at the radar sweeps are going around, trying to pick up a little bit of rain. As of right, we're not seeing a whole lot. That News 6 weather app is a great tool, especially catching those fast little rogue showers that will be moving in along a very strong breeze. Again, we talked a lot about that already today on how strong the winds are going to be. We can't rule out the chance of a couple scattered showers clipping our coastline today, so we're going to hold the rain coverage at about 20%. But what's bringing in some of that rain? It's the wind. Notice how strong the winds have gotten now. They have improved and they have decreased a bit, but still very strong. Right now, between about 25 and 29 miles per hour straight out of the northeast, which is still bringing us some cooler weather, but it's going to quickly start warming us up over the next couple of days. Now, temperatures out the door right now, upper 50s in Ocala, mid 60s from Sanford through Kissimmee, Titusville, Cape Canaveral as well. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for your Monday.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
All right, still kind of a mostly cloudy day. We can't rule out a little bit of sunshine throughout the afternoon, as most of us will stay mainly dry. Then later on tonight, temperatures are going to start dropping. It's always that second night after the cold front that tends to be the coldest, and we had that front come through very late last night, early this morning. So we're down to 41 tonight in areas in around Marion County. Lake and Sumter also in those 40s. We're going to be in the upper 40s to low 50s along the I-4 corridor, and compared to this morning, it will be significantly cooler, especially for you guys there along the coastline. So again, a couple rogue showers, again, can't be ruled out for today. It's not anything enough to maybe cancel any after-school activities or games or whatnot, but do expect that in and out cloud cover to once again continue with just a few spotty showers in the forecast. So a very similar setup over the next couple of days, but the temperatures will be warming up slightly. So Tuesday and Wednesday will be hovering back around that normal value of 74 degrees. And then notice back into the 80s we go. And like I mentioned at the beginning here, it's certainly going to be warming up, not only for us here in the Sunshine State, that's pretty normal, but for the rest of the country, these are the temperature anomalies. How warmer or colder compared to average we're expected to be by December 25th. You can see areas across the central portions 26 degrees warmer than average. Locally here, our Christmas preview, it looks like we could be in the 50s in the morning, 70s in the afternoon. But as we get results here with your full 7-day forecast, can't rule out the chance maybe of even an 80-degree temperature by Christmas. We, of course, will keep you posted.
All right, Candace, thank you so much. Here's one of those stories where you may have to pick your jaw off the floor. Boaters were stranded nearly 30 miles from the coast, hoping someone would come to their rescue. That is exactly what happened. So coming up, we're going to show you this daring rescue video from the Coast Guard not far from Central Florida and the warning they are now putting out to anyone headed out onto the ocean as water temperatures drop. That's coming up on News 6 at 6.
A retired Leesburg couple loses tens of thousands of dollars in an investment scheme.
The fact that it was Elon Musk, did that add legitimacy for you?
To me, I think it did, yeah.
He thought he received a message from billionaire Elon Musk, but experts say it was faked with artificial intelligence. I'm News 6 investigator Louis Bolden. The story tonight at 6 on News 6.
And before we let you go, here's a quick live look over downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. A little gray skies out there, but it will brighten up, we promise you. And that is straight from Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. We'll be back with more details and news straight ahead. All right, I'm going to need your full attention for this one. It was a daring rescue by the Coast Guard off Egmont Key near Tampa. This was Friday. It happened 28 miles from land where a boat sunk. It left all 5 boaters stranded. The Coast Guard says a worker got multiple mayday calls, sent out help to try and get them out of the ocean. And that is the moment officials lowered down ropes, pulling those stranded boaters safely into a helicopter. I mean, this is the stuff of movies. Look at this. Officials with the Coast Guard say with water temperatures dropping, make sure you take the right equipment with you whenever you are heading out. My goodness, thank God they're okay. All right, winter break quickly approaching for students across Central Florida, and over the weekend, OCPS and Second Harvest Food Bank made sure no child will go hungry. So check this out, 3,800 meals across 8 locations given, making sure students who rely on school breakfasts and lunches have exactly what they need during their time off. Some students even stepped in to help the distribution.
I'm grateful we had the opportunity to be a part of this.
It makes me feel happy to do this because it can help students as well do better in school, actually, because if they're getting fed right and having fun on the holidays with stuff they need, then it can help them better in school too.
Yeah, this one hits you in the feels. I know I can't focus when I'm hungry. Fresh fruits and vegetables were a priority in this giveaway. And according to an official with Second Harvest, you can also check out our website, clickorlando.com, for other distribution opportunities as well. Quick live look at our Launch Credit Union camera at Port Canaveral. Make sure you bring a jacket with you, your favorite coat, something. We need those layers today, but you will be able to shed them. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be back in just 3 minutes. All right, I feel like this story deserves
I know. It's heart pumping.
a drum roll. Exactly. Yeah. So there was a really big day at Lake Mary High School. The football team took home the 7A state title in dramatic fashion over the weekend. This was all we talked about this morning. We couldn't get enough of it.
I know.
So the Rams down 6 to Vero Beach, but as time ran out, it was a 43-yard Hail Mary in the rain from quarterback Noah Grubbs. The ball deflected and caught inside the 5 by Garrett Schultz, who then hands it back to Tavarius Brundage, who fought his way into the end zone to tie it up. Lucas Parker with the biggest kick of his high school career knocks through point, through the extra point, I should say. Lake Mary wins it 28-27. Imagine.
In the rain.
In the rain.
Extra drama.
Oh, my goodness. It's like something out of a movie. This is going to be something that they talk about forever.
Oh, yeah.
Highlight of their lives.
I can't wait to see what the world is when they come back for 1 week before the winter break starts up.
Special privileges for them, no doubt. They're going to be milking that
Hall
for a
pass.
while.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us today at noon. Our next newscast is at 4 p.m. Lauren Melendez, Candace Campos. We will see you tomorrow.
Bright and early.